Hi, my name is Abena and this is my story. Hi, my name is Abena. I'm an artist. I was born in South Africa in this place called Bloemfontein, but I lived for the first 18 years of my life in this country called Lesotho, which is totally landlocked. It's a tiny country, it's really beautiful, mountains everywhere. It's the homeland. So my family and I moved to the US like 5 years ago. This is going to be my 6th year here. And I went to Columbia College Chicago for my undergrad in fine arts. So I consider myself an artist. I do installation work, I do performance, I do painting, I do sound work. I consider myself an interdisciplinary artist. But I love to use tea, I love to use coffee, I like to use dirt, I like to use the earth. I like grimy, messy things. And just like everything about tea, I'm like drinking tea right now.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so cool. And I've seen a lot of your work, it's really beautiful.
Yeah.
How did you get into art? I know also coming from like growing up African,
Sure.
art was not like the direction that many parents wanted us to go.
Sure. For me, it was something that's always just been in my life. I think like when I was in grade 2 in elementary school, I just had such a love for it because I had my first work, which was exhibited in this like show for all the like grade 6 people.
Oh,
and I was
wow.
like, oh, like my work actually means something. Like
grade
this is
2?
amazing. Yeah,
Wow,
yeah.
that's so cool.
And I just got so much encouragement from like my art teachers, and like even though like it's not so much a part of the culture to be an artist, like my dad and my mom did like make me do extra art lessons, and they saw that it was something that I enjoyed, so they did harness that. And I think for me that's like one of the biggest reasons that I stuck with it, and it's such a thing that I love, like it's a passion. But for me it's kind of interesting because I think so many times like I could have been doing something else. I could have gone into like IT or engineering. Like I loved physics in high school. Like,
and you were good at it.
Yeah. Like I was a top student.
Oh my gosh.
Like I do think often about that, the fact that I could have done anything else that I wanted to do, but I think that there's so much power being an artist who is someone of color, who comes from a developing country, who has their own vision, who's a female and is going to stick with it and have that as their message. I think that's really powerful.
Yeah, that really is. How would you say diversity in art is?
It depends. I think it depends on where you're coming from, your culture, context. I think in the US it's much more diverse than it is back home. So for example, if you were to do like performance art back home, people would think you're crazy. Unless you're in the setting where there are like artists and art people and stuff. And even then it's not accepted as much. It's like, okay, so you're an artist, like, alright, well, like, what else do you do? Like, do you have a proper job? Like, like, alright, sure. So I guess they're sort of up and coming now, and they're like starting to get on that and like become more diverse, but I still think it's very male dominated. At least even in the US it is super male dominated, and that's changing. Like the culture of that is changing. But I still think it's very interesting when you see a person of color who's either from America or outside and they're choosing to be an artist, let alone be a female in that demographic. And I love that because I think it's sort of pioneering that spirit that you can be what you want to be.
Oh wow, that's really cool. I remember, I think it's about a year ago, you won like this huge art competition in Chicago and got to even tour your work all over the US. Can you tell me more about that?
Sure. So this one it was actually an award at Columbia College where you write a proposal to put up a piece. And then it's juried by a couple of the instructors over there. And so I put up this installation which was like 26 by 9 feet. And it was just this plastic piece that I had hanging, and it's about like my sentiments, it's about like my memories and like fragments and like how you have so many things in your past that you want to reach and like access, but you can't because there's holes in your memory. And then I had super clinical like white lighting, and then I had a sound piece that I put in a little speaker under a cup and hid it inside the piece. But the speaker was like myself recounting like things from my past and like my memories and like fragmentation and these sort of sentiments that we all share. but are hard to access. So sort of creating a little shelter or another home or a place to exist, a place to contemplate. So I won that. I got first place, which was lovely. And that resulted in a 2-person show the next year, which was in 2016, I think. Yeah. With the runner-up, so that was awesome. And then I got to be mentored for a semester by Lesotho, and she's this amazing international artist and does like incredible work. So we had like a couple of studio visits. She invited me to her gallery to show work at the Franklin, which was wonderful. And it was just such an inspiring interaction between the both of us. And then I got tuition dollars back. Not all of it. Still in that boat. But that was just incentive. I think it's very validating when you have people who recognize what you're doing, and I think that's one of the biggest reasons I'm here in this country and continue to work in that field.
So how can, I guess, anyone that's watching this and wants to see like any more of your work or even wants to purchase this, where can they get it?
Absolutely. So right now I'm developing my online store, but I have had people DM me on my Instagram like, hey, I'm interested in this piece, and do you do commission pieces? And I'm actually really surprised and overwhelmed by how many people are willing to support. It's really great right now. I do have a website. It's www.abenaart.com. And my Instagram handle is abenaart as well. Yeah, and I am selling pieces. So that's all up for grabs.
And I guess just to close off, I'd say, what's like, what are your next plans? What's the next big thing that you're looking at, or I guess next big competition?
Sure. I'm definitely applying for residencies. Trying to get more experience and make sure that I'm always developing myself, going to different places, meeting different people. I think it's all about culture. It's where you come from. It's the people that you meet. It's that constant dialogue of community, engagement, all of that. So I'm looking to do more residencies, get more involved in the art world. I'm pretty good about showing artwork, so I'm hoping to do more of that and get into like non-profits and like get the back ends and work my way towards being an international artist.
That's really exciting. And also, what advice would you have for, I guess, like any young and upcoming artists who I guess maybe are unsure because of, I guess, the uncertainty that comes with art? But I think there's uncertainty that comes into going